Hey everybody! So today we're going to be doing something a little different. So I've been trying most of the week to do a set of Christmas nails. Hasn't been going very well. I tried candy canes, I tried hand painting snowflakes. You guys know the troubles that I have with glitter. Was not successful in almost any of it. So I was watching Naio Nails earlier this week, and I saw her do a candy cane inspired nail. And I went ahead and did the rest of the nail since all the dust, because we're just going to be focusing on this one, I guess, like as an accent nail. Please don't mind my hand. I have absolutely destroyed it. The cuticles are a mess. I've just beat it to death. So what we're going to be using today is Merlot from the Glam Trap House. Oh, almost spilled that. I'm telling you, everything I've tried has failed this week. Merlot from the Glam Trap House. I am going to be using Hope Drunk, the Slick Pour from Young Nails, and Baby Baby, which is it's a pink, almost white with a little bit of shimmer. You want just a really light pink. It needs to be almost white for this to work, so it doesn't bleed into the red. I know this doesn't really go together. You're going to see here in a minute how we're going to make it go together. So a little different this time. We're going to start from the top of the nail and work our way down. So you're going to want to get a big bead of that red. I saw this and thought, hey, that looks simple enough. And it's not super technical, and it's not super precise. It's kind of freehand, and it's a marble, basically, a candy cane inspired marble. So you're going to want to get a big bead of that red, and you want your beads to be somewhat wet. Not so wet that you can't work with them, but wet enough that you can do the swirl that we're going to do. It's a lot like that pink and blue marble that I did. So you want to lay that right up by the cuticle, get it nice and clean. Like I said, we're going backwards, so, just get it laid down neat. Doesn't need to be super thick, but it does need to cover the nail. And red stains. I really like this red from the Glam Trap House because it's super pigmented, so it doesn't marble, as you can clearly see. But it is very, very red, and usually with red you get that marbling. Now you're going to want to take a wet bead of that pink, just a small one, and lay that down right on top. Now you're going to take your brush and flatten it out, and you're just going to swipe it through, making kind of stripes, marbling stripes. Oh, it's getting away from me. You can see why my cuticles are such a mess. And you're just going to keep swiping that through and making those stripes, okay? Kind of. Not exactly stripes, but. And if you have too much anywhere, just take it off. And you're going to go back and add more later to fix anything you're not super happy with. And then you're just going to keep repeating that pattern. You're going to get a wet bead of the red, and then a little tiny bead of the pink, and just swirl it through. And if you get too much, that's okay. You can always wipe it off. So you want it wet enough that it's not going to like chunk up on you. And if you notice that one color is heavier than the other, go back and add more in. It's going to be a little messy, and that's okay. You don't want to pat it too much because you don't want to take away from those swirls. I'm just taking some off. And it's not supposed to look precise, so don't concern yourself if it doesn't. And you can always, if you notice one area has more of one color than another, you can always go back and add a little bit. But I thought this would be fun to do because, like I said, it's not super precise. I was not having a ton of luck with anything else very Christmassy. So, I mean, you want to make sure that it's even, but again, you're going to have grooves from your brush. We're not going to file this top layer. What we're going to do is add clear and fill in those grooves and then file down. And you can have the stripes going any direction. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going this way because why not? So now I see some areas that I think the color's not correct in. So I'm gonna go add a little bit of whatever I think it needs, and you do the same because this is kind of a freehand, you know? And a marble. And marble's not meant to be precise. So it's got candy cane vibes for sure, but it's a lot easier. Now, what we're gonna do next to kind of tie all of this together, we're gonna take that green, God bless it, glitter. So you see how I just went back and added that wherever it felt kind of iffy. Now we're going to use the green glitter as an accent. So you're just going to take a little tiny bead of that. And I knew I was putting this up here, that's why I left that red kind of blank. And just like with any other marble, we're just going to thread that through. Using very little glitter because, you know, glitter's the worst. I know, I'm awful. How can I do nails and not like glitter? Well, let me tell you. It doesn't like me. I don't mind it so much, it just hates my guts. Normally these are not colors I would think to put together, but in this case they work. And they are very Christmassy, and you see they kind of tie everything together. And I just did the rest of the nails kind of plain because this, you know. So now we're going to let this dry, and then we are going to add our clear. And like I said, fix anything you think needs fixing, but I got the kind of feeling that I want from it. So, oh, that's a mess. So we're going to let that dry, add our clear. Actually, it's pretty dry now. So I'm going to go ahead and add clear. Remember, we're not filing this down at all because we want those grooves. It's going to give it kind of a, what's the word I'm thinking of? 3D? I don't know. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of. But, so we're going to take our clear and we're going to get a big old bead of clear. I'm using the core pink, that really sheer. It's clear with just a touch of pink because I like what it does. It's kind of like a magic eraser. It helps blend everything in if you have anything red or pink. So we're just going to take a big fat one and let it fill in those grooves. I don't know what that is. Oh, I got some of my filings in there. I'm a mess. Oh. It's getting away from me again. I'm telling you guys, it's been like this all week. But we're not going to let that beat me. Nope. I was like, you know what? Nothing's working out. So, instead of taking a break like a sane person, I'm just going to keep beating my head against this wall. And look at that. Look how great it turned out. Now, this one's going to be kind of chunky after you get this clear laid down, and that's fine. We're going to file down that clear till we get to the top of the grooves. Because we don't want to file any of that down. So you want to lay down enough to cover every bit of it, and then we can just file it down. So you are going to be using your E-file on this one. So if your clear is not perfectly straight, don't worry about that. Like I said, we are going to be filing way down on this one. And I like that because, you know, the messes I made and mistakes I made, my file is going to fix, and I don't have to be too concerned about it, which is working out for me this week. So see, guys, if you're having a bad week, you don't need to necessarily give up or whatever. You can keep going. Just find something that works with your bad week, you know? That's all you gotta do. Just work with your bad luck. That's what I did. See, I would have done some really just basic glittery Christmas sets and never went looking for this had I not been having such a bad week. So I'm kind of glad I did because I really like how it looks. It's right up my alley, you know? So we are going to, oh wait, I see a spot I missed. Give me 1 second. So we are going to let this clear dry and then we're going to come back and file. We're going to file all that down so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. And you can see the finished result because this is a big chunky thing right here and that's not what we want. Like I said, make sure your clear is filling in all those grooves. Check your, get a side profile of it. Make sure you don't have any dips or anything because you don't want to be filing off that color. Yeah, see this mess? Watch what it's about to turn into. But you see the kind of candy cane vibe you get. All right, guys, we will be right back. All right, so we are back. And we are going to go ahead and clean this bad boy up. And then we're going to give it a quick buff and, top coat so you can see the finished result. It's going to be a little bit of filing, so dig in. So what you want to do basically is file down the clear till you start to see the top of those grooves, but not into the color. And I suggest doing long straight strokes, that way you don't get any dips or grooves in it. I'm using the medium grit Melody Susie ceramic bit, but any of them will really work. I don't suggest a sanding band because that's not really meant for taking off bulk. You definitely want something with teeth on it to kind of grab some of that clear off. And then you can go over it with the sanding band at the end. Feel for any bumps or lumps or whatever. Now we're basically through most of the clear. We got most of it and it's filled in all those little grooves, but the glitter is exposed. Feel a little bump right there. Now we're going to take our hand file, wherever that went. Oh, no, it's over here. You're going to take your hand file and just clean up the edges, sharpen up your shape. And any other, oh, sorry, we're bouncing. Yeah. I was banging into my tripod. Anyway, so you're just going to clean up your shape and then give it a quick buff. Wipe it down with acetone and we'll go ahead and take a look at it. And like I said, this was kind of messy, but definitely worked out much better for me than the other stuff I had tried this week. So if you're having a bad week or maybe you're just not in your normal groove, this is something fun to try. And I will say, it did make me feel a little better because I finally got one to work. So it kind of got me back in the groove. So thank you, like it's nowhere near Kirsty Megan's, obviously, but Definitely something easy to try if you're intimidated by the normal Christmas stuff you're seeing lately. And I'm not going to add any jewels or anything because there's plenty going on here. There we go. Just about done. Now you see why my cuticles are so messed up. There we go. Now we're going to wipe it down with acetone, and then we'll give it a top coat so you guys can see the finished effect. Yeah, definitely candy cane vibes. Definitely Christmassy. And even though these looked weird together, it definitely ties the whole thing together. And you want to wipe off any dust and any scratches from the buffing and all that filing. And then we'll give it a quick top coat and you guys can see how it looks. So this definitely made me feel better. Because I thought, you know, I was cursed or something. I had lost my mojo. And I know around the holidays, it's pretty easy for that to happen. When it seems like nothing's going right. And you're just trying to do things in the Christmas spirit and get everything right for Christmas and nothing seems to be working out. Well, there you go. I actually kind of love how it turned out. Even though I'm not a fan of glitter, I will say this came out better than I had hoped. So, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And if you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Stay tuned for the big giveaway coming up. And as always, thanks for watching.